This one will most certainly be a good one. It is Indiana at Oregon. So many storylines in this one. Indiana playing to kind of solidify themselves in the minds of college football fans as a team that can compete for national championships. They're not just a tier 2 team in the Big Ten, but they are in fact a tier 1 team. Oregon, I mean, with the way their schedule is gone, with Penn State losing to UCLA, they really need this one to kind of help boost up their schedule a little bit, right? I mean, me and Zach are giving them credit, but other people not giving them as much credit. Some people don't think they should be even in the top three. They're saying, "Oh, this team hasn't faced anybody. They haven't played anybody." And when you go to double overtime with a team and they go on to lose in the game after that, doesn't help your strength of schedule rating all that much. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. But yeah, on FanDuel, Oregon is favored by 7.5. The over/under set at 55.5. Mike, what are your thoughts?
I think this is an opportunity for Signetti to prove that he can play with the elite teams in college football. You know, it's been a bit of a mini version of the Franklin problem, where he's defeated everybody who's kind of below Indiana the last 2 years, but struggled with the two top 10 opponents. They got a third opportunity here. I think this could be kind of like a game of the year type game in the Big Ten between two teams that not only have explosive offenses, but I would say overlooked defenses, where their defenses are like way better than I think they're given credit for, just because of how explosive the offenses are for both these teams. So I'm really looking forward to watching this game on Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good time, and honestly, the whole thought is like, has this Indiana team corrected the issues that they had against Ohio State last year? That's my big question because this one, there's so many storylines from the last game against Ohio State, right? The field position, the offensive line, all this stuff. Well, this season, Indiana has been much better on the offensive line on the left side. You know, you have Drew Evans and Carter Smith out there. Pat Coogan has been a good center for them as well. It's really been the right side of the offensive line that have struggled a little bit more. They didn't start struggling until Iowa. Well, I guess Bray Lynch did struggle against Illinois a little bit, according to his PFF grade. But really, those two struggled the most against Iowa. Khalil Benson got beat pretty good by Mateo Uyunglele a couple times. And so Mateo Uyunglele is probably going to line up on that same side. I apologize. Max Llewellyn. I'm saying Mateo Uyunglele is going to line up against them on this one. And he's one of the best pass rushers in the nation. I mean, he just does such a good job. Now, his run defense is a little bit, worse, but I mean, when you say it's a little bit worse than how great of a pass rusher he is, it's not like it's bad or anything. And Khalil Benson has been a better run blocker than he's been a pass blocker. So, I mean, if you're looking for some optimism there, you can maybe look for that a little bit, but this is definitely the left side of the offensive line. They're going to have to trust and kind of work behind a little bit more if they don't want a second time of the Ohio State situation to happen to them. And then also, you got to do a really good job of special teams in this one. Caleb Downs had that punt return in the Ohio State game that really kind of bolted them forward for them to be able to get the win. And if you give up a big return to DeCorian Moore or a Gary Bryant Jr. or something like that, you're looking for some issues. So we'll see if the field position stuff has worked better for Indiana. Well, actually, it has worked better this season. All right. Indiana, according to FEI, they have like a field position rating. Indiana is sixth best in the country in field position. Oregon is 25th best. So maybe Indiana can use some of this stuff here. They got their punter, Mitch McCarthy. He did well against Iowa. Caden Wetchin only had one return for like 17 yards, I think it was. But other than that, he was pinning them in the 20. He was kicking it out of bounds. So we'll see. I don't feel confident either way in this one. I know there's some people in the chat here that seem to feel confident in the Oregon side, and I get that as well. But I feel like every time people doubt this Indiana team, they come up with something. So I don't know. Are you doubting the Indiana Hoosiers there, Mike? You think Oregon's gonna get this one? What do you think?
So I do think Oregon wins, but I think Indiana covers. I think Autzen at night is just a really tough place to play, and I realize this is a 3:30 start East time, so it's not an actually night game. So let me correct myself there. But just one of the toughest places in the country to play. Fernando Mendoza has played there before when he was a quarterback at Cal, so he kind of knows what to expect. But I feel like this is kind of it could be a situation where it's just whoever has the ball last kind of finds a way to win this one. Um, I have Oregon winning 34-31. So I have Indiana covering and the over hitting. So
Do you feel like me, whereas the winner of this game between Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza is most likely going to win the Heisman?
probably going to win the Heisman, also probably going to win the number one pick. And that's a great way to
Hmm.
hedge this game. Maybe not hedge this game, but an alternate way to bet this game rather than betting money line or betting, um, with the points is to kind of take whoever you think is going to win and take that quarterback as the Heisman Trophy winner because you're going to get way better odds on that. And those odds shift so drastically from week to week. Like a win could take Dante Moore from, I don't know what his odds are at right now, but let's just throw a number out there. Let's say he's 6-1. If he beats Indiana, he might shoot up to like 2-1. So you're going to get a huge shift in odds based on this game.
Yeah, right now I just looked on FanDuel, and Fernando Mendoza is the favorite to be the first overall pick at plus 380, and then you have Lenora Sellers at plus 430, and then Dante Moore is tied with plus 430 there at second. So, yeah, Heisman Trophy, uh, first round pick, definitely on the line there. I would go ahead and parlay all three of those together. If you think Oregon's going to win, parlay. Well, can you parlay NFL and college together? Yeah, you can, right?
Yeah, you could parlay those two things together. You
Yeah,
should
as
be
I
able
say,
to
I've
anyway.
I've never tried that before, but I assume you could. So, yeah, I'd parlay all that together. I just put the NFL draft, the Heisman, and the at the very least the money line winner in this one. If you feel confident with the spread, go for it. But it's gonna be interesting for sure. So, I said earlier this season, so I put Oregon to win in here at first, and then I remember I said when Indiana beat Illinois. I said, mark it down, Indiana. I will not doubt you again until you show me a reason to doubt you. So, Indiana fans, I am sticking to my word here. I'm going to pick Indiana to win this game. I don't feel super great about it, but like I said, I am going to let this Indiana team disappoint, fail, anything like that before I pick against them again. So I have Indiana in this game winning 31-24. I feel very much like
Damn.
you, Mike, where this is going to be one at the end of the game, somebody who gets the ball, whatever kind of happens there. But this is one, like I said with the Ohio State Texas game, I could go either way. I could make a strong argument for why Indiana's going to win. I could make a strong argument for why Oregon's going to win. And I don't know, Mike, like you tell me if I'm crazy, but we saw Washington lose at home. We saw Georgia lose at home. Oregon's the next longest streak. Like, does that mean that it's time for Oregon to lose at home? Like, is that just what this season is?
It could be, yeah. I struggled really hard with a few of these, and this was one of them because I think both teams have really just impressed me so much with with the performances. I mean, you have Indiana winning a top 10 matchup, or they beat a top 10 in Illinois team at the time by 50 some points. Then you have Oregon winning in a whiteout at Penn State. I think these are two teams that, regardless of what happens in this game, I think they both end up making the playoff. So you sit back and enjoy this one. It's a little easier to say it, not being a fan of either team, but I think this is going to be a great game, and I'm like it's the game I'm looking forward to watching the most this weekend.
I am too. Indiana, if you could just not like score 63 points and beat the team by 53 so we can actually have a good game to watch, we would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen, but it's fun to tell Indiana, give us a good game, okay? Don't blow the team out too much. Uh, Tony says, "Don't put your money on that, Jr. Trust me, I'm not putting any money on this game, man. This is one where I'm just gonna sit back. I could not let my wallet be involved in this one. I already got my heart racing for Ohio State, Illinois earlier in the day. I can't, back to back have my heart racing for another one like that. So, Zach has Indiana winning in this one as well, 27-25. I would love if he was
Wow.
here to be able to explain that. I'm wondering maybe like a 2 point conversion he has in there or something like that. But yeah, he's taking Indiana to cover and taking the under as well. So